sit back and take basket weaving 101. She took all honors classes, plus band. So she was legitimate salutatorian, okay? And after that happened, they decided that September is when they pulled this with not wanting to recognize honors band. Okay, so that's one of the things that happened. And I remember her smiling at me and saying, you know what, Mom? It doesn't really matter, because I got the medal. Okay? But it just wasn't right. The kids couldn't be even eligible for it because they didn't have any other honors classes. So, you know, it's important to a kid to, if they can make National Honor Society, and maybe they can't take honors math or English or whatever, but maybe they're a B student or even a BC student, but they work so hard and they don't have that caliber to be the A student. Isn't it nice that they could have, I happen to know about 5 kids who got into National Honor Society, much that were even older than my kids, and all their honors class was this band. And again, these were kids who just adored band, and it made a difference here for them. So I don't know how you're going to fix this. How are you going to fix this when this band is so torn apart? Going forward, he's practicing with kids in pieces. And how are you going to fix it that he can't teach lessons? Because they made sure he was shoved in it. That man has never been shoved in a classroom to teach the classes that he's classed in all the years he's been here. He taught lessons on his lunch. He had jazz band on his lunch. And now you're forcing him to do classes so that he doesn't have time to teach. You got a nice bunch of young men out there. Mr. Chwalik, Mr. Coffey, Mr. Lang. Well, why can't they pull those classes in their schedule while they're running and let Nick teach his classes, because this is his band that he worked so hard to build. And I think that would be at least one way that these kids can get their lessons. I was fortunate to work with boards before through my many years who were very active and supported us in the music. Mr. Kutcherzulu, if you look in the band room, that $20,000 check in that band room, it was probably the only good thing we got from NCAP, paid $20,000 for us to get band uniforms, because basically you guys give us nothing. You really give us nothing. Like I said, we're self-sufficient. The only things that you have to give us, or you should be giving us like everybody else, is uniforms, which everybody gets here, and the big instruments. My daughter got handed a 16-year-old uniform when she joined the band. It was 16 years old. They were duct taped, there was buttons missing, they were falling apart at the seams. You couldn't repair them anymore. So I finally took on the board. That was one of my first things. I said, you can't do this. So Mr. Kutcherzulu went out and he begged, and he begged, and he begged, and he got NCAP to give us that $20,000. And that's how we got our uniforms. And Melissa was a sophomore in high school. She's now 28 years old and working and living on her own. These uniforms are 12 years old. We don't have enough uniforms. The band is much bigger than it's been. You'll see kids out in the field that don't have a uniform because we don't have enough. He was told to look at uniforms. They have the gall to tell him, oh, look for that, and pick something out, and what about this hat? And then, of course, okay, no one knowing that this deficit was hanging around. But then they pull the plug. Oops, no uniform. Well, they're 12 years old. They need to be replaced. They shouldn't be out on the field without uniforms. Everybody should have a uniform. You don't send basketball players out, you don't send football players out, you don't send anybody out with imperfect uniforms or no uniforms. But the band goes out there without them. So I'd like to know, what is the solution to this? How are you going to fix this and make it up to these kids who are basically at the bottom of the barrel? Let's put it that way. Any suggestions?
I can just say we're in contact.
Digest it all. Oh, trust, there's even more than that. Well, we'll just leave it at this for now.
Sorry?
I said, there's even more that went on, but we'll leave it at this for now, because I think I painted you a big enough picture. So how are we going to get these kids to practice together? How are we going to get this band back together like it's supposed to be, as a functioning band? Oh, and we don't get any, we get transportation to the football games, but the kids who go for their band, like when they go to regionals in county, the band and the choir, no transportation is supplied for them. The band association, the parents usually take them. So we provide them with that because, you know, they don't get any transportation for that. We take them. A couple of times when Mr. Chihuahua took the kids up to West Point, I used to bring the kids up here to sing. The band association paid for the bus. The jazz band used to go up to New York State and perform. The band association paid for the bus because it wasn't in the budget to get a bus for the band. So I don't know how you're going to fix this, but I would hope that you're going to make a serious attempt, and we're not going to really, are we really going to go the whole year like this without the band being together to practice?
We're looking at all alternative possible. I think between looking at people's schedules, we talked about a few different things. We talked about individual lessons. That's something that's being looked at. And again, if somebody doesn't have the ability to teach an additional class, their schedule is have to be put to them in a financial issue, which unfortunately we're not in the best shape right now to look at things like that, but we are.
But the elementary
as far as the split goes, that's not something that, I mean, I can speak personally, not something that I wanted to be done. It's something that we looked at for 2 months in the summer. But unfortunately, because of cuts that were made, I think there's 26 blocks that were lost. It's, you know, we even have had the state monitor once a week wouldn't necessarily.
Mr. Greco, with all due respect.
So for the committee, we look at the schedule to see if there's other ways to schedule things.
With all due respect, this was done deliberately. I don't pull in the punches. To change, they knew that changing the block system to the way it was going to be the beginning of the end of the band program. That's why it was stopped several times and it never happened. You take bands at a first block and you'll never be able to get it together again. So this was perfectly calculated. It was done, I believe, my personal opinion, intentionally. And I believe that they could care less about that band room, the band director, or the kids. And you know what? That is really sad that you are going to take it out on kids. Kids who only want to be kids. They have 4 short years to do everything they possibly can in these 4 years. They should be able to play football, run out onto the field and play the tuba or the saxophone if they want to. Go back and play football and be in a play and then play basketball. They shouldn't have to be, for years, they were tormented and challenged. You can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. We had one 8th grader that was, he was really publicly humiliated by a coach who's no longer here. The names that he was called because he was a big, strapping boy and chose to play a band instrument rather than have his face pounded into the football field. Well, not everybody's a football player, not everybody's a basketball player, not everybody's a band player. But they should all be allowed to do what they want to do in these 4 short years. Because once they're out of here and in college, their adult life, whether they choose to believe it or not, starts to begin. And they don't have as much freedom as they think they're going to have. So why are we punishing these kids and doing what we're doing to them when they've been deprived of the school? I mean, they perform for the winter. When the mayor wants them to the choir to sing, they perform and out in the park in the freezing cold. So I really, really, really feel that something needs to be done. And I know it can't be done tomorrow, but I don't think they should have to go through the rest of the year being separated like this and not being able to perform together so that when they're out on the field, they're playing the caliber of music that we're used to them hearing. And I think it's disrespectful to them, and I think it's very disrespectful to Nick DeLosa, that a man who has brought such a beautiful, wonderful program and has brought so much joy to so many young kids, that we should be now fighting for a program that doesn't need to be fought for, because it's already there. I thank you.
Anyone else? Do I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor?